Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. Welcome, and happy Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVi, and I lead School's Eye on the Valley. Again, happy Friday. Appreciate that you're here. Our show, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you by SCVi, and I lead schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've also got a fully accredited online school, a burgeoning homeschool program. Visit us at ileadschools.org for information on our classroom-based schools, our virtual schools. We've got a school for every kind of learning style, every kind of need. So, check us out at ileadschools.org for more information. So, we've got our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But like the show says, we keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we try to put a smile on your face while doing so, as if a Friday morning weren't reason enough to smile. Come on now. I'm looking out the window. Is it summertime yet? It's hard to tell. I thought this was Southern California. They say June gloom, but we've had June gloom since April. This has been weird. The sun's trying out there. It's been peeking through. You know, I've been complaining a little bit that summer hasn't arrived, but I do know I'm going to regret it soon. You know, it's going to be here soon enough. It's going to be 112. We're going to be wishing for weather like today, so let's enjoy it while it lasts. We made it to another weekend. Like I said, it's Friday. I know you're looking forward to it. Looking forward to a little relax, some time with the family and friends, maybe. Maybe a little project around the house, huh? Clean up, maybe lay down some wood chips. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But you know what? We're not there yet. Yes, TGIF, but you know what TGIF stands for, right? Yeah, you do. The grind includes Friday. That's what it stands for, Carlos. We're still working. You're still working. Let's get it done. Let's finish strong. Let's get to it. But you know what? Let's rock this morning together. Let's rock this Friday morning together. What do you say? You do you. We'll do us. Whatever you're doing, we'll keep you informed and entertained right here on Eye on the Valley. So let's go for it. Pour yourself another cup of coffee and let's get into it, because it's going to be a great show today. First up, we've got Kris Nilsen. She is college and career counselor with SCVi Charter School. SCVi is a TK through 12th grade free public charter school with one of the best college and career counselors around. We've got her right now. And then in hour number 2, we've got Tina Toval with I Lead AV Exploration. That's right, up in the Antelope Valley. But you know what? They're not exclusive to the Antelope Valley. Stick around. Tina will tell you all about it. Tina and her team have the most innovative take on home study that I think you've ever heard of. So, so many people tune me out when I say home study, but don't, because if you think you can't, you don't know what you're talking about. Wait till you hear what Tina and her team are doing up there to support families and kids that have needs and hopes to stay at home while they're engaging in a rigorous and enjoyable curriculum. And then after Tina, we've got Dr. Jasmine Rise. Dr. Rise has been on the show before. She's amazing. She's the assistant superintendent and vice president of student services at College of the Canyons. And so she's going to talk about what they've got going on this summer out there at COC. Yep, and you know what? I think she's going to stick around and play with us as well. She's going to play trivia with Big T. So we've got all kinds of fun stuff going on. Lots of amazing education throughout the entire North County. And so we'll talk all about it today. And then we're going to goof off. We're going to play. We're going to have a lot of fun. So let's jump right in. My first guest today is the college and career counselor with SCVi Charter School. Kris Nilsen grew up in the San Fernando Valley and graduated from Cal State Northridge. Like myself, she's a Matador. She has her BA in Sociology, Criminology, and Corrections. She later went back to CSUN, got her MA in Education, her administrative credential. She also attended Cal State Long Beach, where she graduated with a Master's in Social Work and a PPS credential. So, gosh, she's just got all kinds of documents on the wall. And she also has her college counseling certificate from UCLA. She's a lifelong learner. Kris worked with the Department of Child and Family Services as a family reunification caseworker for a couple of years, and also worked at Pinecrest Schools for 18 years before they closed their doors in 2016. Remember Pinecrest? Oh, yeah, I remember. Kris now lives in the Simi Valley with her husband of more than 25 years and their 2 daughters. She has she's found her passion as a high school counselor and enjoys visiting college campuses across the United States. And she is now in her 7th year as the college and career counselor with SCVi. Good morning, Kris. Welcome back to Eye on the Valley. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us again. I know you're a pretty frequent guest here. I think you're quickly climbing the charts as one of our more frequent guests. But we love having you on because you are in charge of so many exciting things going on out at SCVi. So I did talk about your education a little bit, but I think what's fascinating about your sort of educational resume is your why, right? The reason you were getting all these different credentials and bachelor's and master's and all these different things. So can you kind of walk us through a little bit about your educational background and what you were doing professionally? Because a lot of what you've done in the past has come together to make you such an amazing counselor.
Yes, thank you, Matt. It's been kind of a long road, and I think what I love about that is when I speak with our learners here at SCVi, there's many different ways, many different paths to get to where you kind of end up. And, leaving high school, I really wanted to work with troubled youth, maybe, incarcerated youth. And so I went to school and I studied that, and I actually worked at a boys' home for boys on probation, and I really enjoyed that work and thought I wanted to be a probation officer and realized there wasn't that much interaction with the guys. So I was in group with them, and I saw a social worker, and I said, gosh, that's what I want to do. I want to help kids. I don't just want to manage them. And so I did go back to school to get my master's, and I worked for a Department of Children and Family Services right here in Santa Clarita Valley off of Lyons for a couple of years. And then you gave birth to my older daughter, and I kind of realized this was a very tough area to work in, and it just so happens my mom was principal at Pinecrest School in Woodland Hills, and she needed a math teacher. So I taught for about 5 years, and I was the dean, and I ran student council and did activities, and I got to work with kids and counsel them. And then my mom had hip replacement surgery, and she said, I want to go back in the classroom. I do not want to be admin. So surprisingly enough, I became her principal, but I did go back to CSUN, great school, because I didn't want it to be a kind of a nepotism thing. I wanted to know the job and be prepared. So I went back to school and loved the program and became a principal. And then I had the awesome opportunity to move to Simi Valley Pinecrest, where I live, and I became the director. And it was 18 months through 8th grade, so wasn't sure how I would do working with elementary because it was always middle school, older kids.
Okay.
And I found it was amazing. Those little ones, how cute they were and how wonderful. And I really felt that I could make an impact in working with that staff who had gone through some tough times. And so I did that until Pinecrest closed. Both my daughters were able to be with me at Pinecrest, so it was just a wonderful family environment. And when they closed, I thought, oh my gosh, where am I going to go? Where am I going to find a place that I've found in Pinecrest? And sure enough, I had a colleague that came to SCVi and said how amazing the school was and the company was, and I was so excited, and I attended Leadership Cafe. Wow, in August of 2016. And so I'm finishing up my 7th year, and I realized kind of all the way along my path, I wanted to be a high school counselor. I wanted to work with high school kids. I wanted to have that impact on them. And I have found that passion, and part of me wishes I, kind of started a little bit earlier, maybe, a few years ago. But when I started here, and so much goes into just high school counseling, and so I felt that I needed more, yes, lifelong learner. I seem to like school, obviously, and I decided to get my college counseling certificate, which was amazing at my first year at SCVi. It helped me through everything that I needed to do. It gave me the confidence. It gave me the knowledge. And so I did that for about a couple of years and got my certificate. And now I'm in my 7th year. We have 1 week left until school is out, and It has been such a journey, but it has been one that has changed my life.
Wow. And such a beautiful professional trajectory. Kris, I love what you said about that shift early on in your career, that you wanted to help kids, not manage them. And I think that's kind of the attitude that makes you such a terrific match at SCVi, right? Because unlike the way school traditionally is, where, let's be honest, teachers, administrators oftentimes focus a lot on managing kids. We talk about classroom management, but that's our focus at SCVi. Not that we don't focus on classroom management, but it's more about helping kids grow and learn and be the leaders that they're destined to be. And that just made such a great match for you coming over to SCVi and then building your acumen as that college counselor. It just was a beautiful fit. So tell me, what do you enjoy working about? What do you enjoy about working at SCVi and about your role as college and career counselor in specific?
First, I have a wonderful team. And when I started here, excuse me, in 2016, it was a wonderful team of people that welcomed me and appreciated me, and that makes all the difference. I'd have to say the most important thing is obviously the kids. I just enjoy talking with kids, talking about their future, being there for them. Kids are at school more than they're at home sometimes. And right. I feel I have created, hopefully, an environment in my office where kids can feel welcome, where they can feel safe. Because we're smaller and I don't work at a big, huge high school, I am able to have relationships with the kids more than I could at a bigger environment. And so I get to enjoy not only working with the seniors as the senior advisor this year, but also with our freshmen, our 9th graders and 10th graders coming in. And I have to say, it's so comfortable. And when I walk around campus, and whether I'm going to the quad or, going to visit a classroom, I'll hear someone say, "Hey, Nilsen." And it just makes me so happy, and my heart is so full because I have that comfortable, respectful relationship with the learners, and it's because I'm able to take that time to find out not only who they are, but what their why is and what they want to do in their future. And it just enriches, my life more and more every day. My 2 daughters are older, one's at college and one's 24. And so that empty nest was hard as a mom. And now, but I get that here. I get to be with kids. I get to be there for their ups and downs and their triumphs and their tribulations. And it really is a unique experience. And I thank myself every day. When we went through COVID and how tough education was, we were able to be here for the kids when we went hybrid, and we really focused on that social emotional growth and the mental health that was needed at that time. And just like Pinecrest, I would say this is Pinecrest High School is what I would look at it as, but like it did at Pinecrest when I was principal for middle school, kids come back. They come back to say, "Hey, how you doing? This is what I'm doing now." And you don't get that at a lot of schools. I went to a big public school in the Valley, and I have not been back there, maybe driven by. But it was hard to make relationships there because there's so many kids they have to worry about. But at SCVi, we are that small family, and sometimes we're that family that kids really need. We're that extended, family to a wonderful family that they already have, because our SCVi families are amazing. Yeah. And I think it really is spending that time. And I think some days just having kids in my office and talking about whatever current event or whatever is going on is an important part of the job, being able to be there for the kids with whatever they need. So I always, tell and joke with people that I do have the best job at SCVi. And as a high school counselor, I feel like I do have the best job.
You know what? I might agree with you there, Kris. And I think you said the word family at least half a dozen times in that answer, because SCVi does really feel like a family. I love the idea that you said it feels sort of like Pinecrest High School. When I was high school director there, I remember, every kid by first and last. There was one of the kids that popped into my office, and I'm going to call him out. He says, "Hey, Mr. Watson." I said, "Hey, Kevin Resendez." And he says, "How do you know my name?" I said, "Dude, I work here." And he goes, "Right, but like my last name." I said, "Kevin, I know your first last name. I know your parents were friends on Facebook." I love that about SCVi, because we do provide that small boutique school where not only is it a family on campus, but our families know each other, and to get an idea of just how small and how warm and how individualized the attention our families get, Kris, you're about to graduate your senior class. You mentioned your senior advisor. How many seniors have you got graduating this year?
We have 39 site-based graduating this year. Through our exploration program, we have about 10, so that would be about 49. And then our sister school, which is I Lead Online, they are at our graduation with us as well, and they have about 35 kids graduating, and 22 of them are going to be attending our graduation. So, yeah, really small compared to my graduating class of 600.
Right? Yeah. And so, you, like I said, our kids get to know their teachers, their administrators, and vice versa very, very closely. We get to keep a good eye on the kids, take good care of them, and then, you get that individualized attention. My oldest graduated from a larger high school, and she mentioned to me she never once met her high school counselor in 4 years. Never met them, and you develop a relationship, like you said, from freshman year, and so that really is just, like I said, the nice small boutique school feel. But you've also got this tremendous rigor, and kids are involved in project-based learning. You mentioned the social-emotional learning. You've also got IB. You've got an IB program. That stands for International Baccalaureate, and that's very much a unique option. I think SCVi is the only school in the Santa Clarita Valley that offers the International Baccalaureate program. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about the IB program, what it is and what it looks like for kids?
Sure. So the IB program, I think a lot of people might relate that to AP, but it's actually better than AP, and it's a little bit more challenging for the kids because it is getting the kids to think globally. And I think really the punchline of that is realizing that other people can be right. And so in those IB classes, we have the full diploma program involves 6 core courses that has to do with English, math, history, science, the arts, and a language, which is Spanish. And if they're doing the full diploma, in addition to that, there are 3 components: the extended essay, a college-level essay, 4,000-word essay. They have a CAS project, which stands for Creative Action Service, where they do some sort of service project. We actually have a junior this year who is going to Africa in the summer for her IB full diploma CAS project. Amazing. And then
so this is a school
TOK,
project
which
that
is
she's...
a Theory of Knowledge class, which is really a cool class that some of our kids who are not IB diploma are taking, because it's thinking about thinking and going into deep dives and all kinds of different subjects and philosophies. It's wonderful. So if they get that full diploma, they are considered an IB diploma candidate throughout high school. They take exams in May, they do internal assessments, they do all kinds of things, and then they have that diploma. What it does for them is the strength of their transcript. It is the most demanding courses we offer here at SCVi. And when kids are applying to colleges, and I do recommendations, and on the form they ask, is this applicant an IB diploma candidate? And you click yes. It kind of puts them up into that other tier that they are doing the most rigorous program that we have here at SCVi. And it's definitely rigorous, and it's a lot. And we do have, some kids that really need that challenge, want that challenge, and they really, want to prepare themselves for college.
Did I hear you right, Kris? Did you say that one of your juniors is going to Africa for a school project as she works through her IB diploma program?
Yes, she is.
Wow.
And she looked into it, and she's going by herself, so her parents aren't going. Her sister is graduating this year, and she was full diploma as well. And she's going there as part of her CAS project, an opportunity that she was able to do, and I am just amazed. I'm amazed when I get to know these kids and find out what they do and what they're willing to do. I'm amazed.
Yeah, that is truly amazing. I mentioned graduation, and I know y'all graduate. A lot of our local district high schools graduated this past week. Y'all go a little bit longer because you start a little bit later, a little bit more of that traditional schedule. You start later in August, finish in June, and so you've got graduation coming up. But you mentioned, Kris, you've only got 39 graduates. Does that make it tough to do things that kids traditionally look forward to their senior year? Things like, I don't know, prom, grad night, things like that, or do they still get to enjoy all those senior milestone events?
Yeah, they do. And I think when you think about a small graduating class, what's awesome is you get to do more with them. That would be really hard for a class of 500 to 600 kids to get them all wrangled up. We start off the year with Senior Sunrise, and basically this is the sunrise of your senior year. Next week we're going to have a Senior Sunset activity, which is kind of, celebrating the end of senior year with a sunset together, and we're doing that at SCVi. And throughout the year we do have winter formal, we have prom, we have junior senior prom, because we are a little bit small, but we have the juniors that come as well.
Nice.
We went to a retreat at Alpine Camp in Blue Jay, California, with our wonderful SOAR company that we work with. And they did team building. They did high ropes courses. We had kids jumping off a 30-foot pole, harnessed and belayed, and challenging themselves. And it's one of my most favorite things that the seniors get to do. And I get to be there with them and see their growth and how they're challenging themselves. And then we have our senior breakfast, which is the day before graduation next week, and we talk about all of the accomplishments and memories and have parents come in and have a really nice breakfast. And then we have our graduation. And because we're small, we can kind of do things at those graduations that you really can't at a bigger one. Both my daughters actually went to Royal High School. It's a pretty, big public school in Simi Valley. And you're kind of sitting in the stands on the football field, and you cannot really see everyone. And I think my one memory is recording them saying my daughter's names. Actually, my second daughter, it was during COVID, so they did a drive-through. But what we can do at our graduations is really have those personal moments. It really is kind of created by our graduates, by our learners. The videos that we use, the pictures that we use, those are all done by kids. And so I'm just the facilitator that's making sure everything is getting ready, but it really is our learners who are making it what it is.
That is awesome, Kris. And I know you also completed, I don't think you mentioned it, but it's what my favorite capstone event is for every year for your seniors. Such a powerful experience for everyone involved. Let's talk about that when we get back. Kris Nilsen, College and Career Counselor at SCVi Charter School, joins us this morning. More right after this. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi, and I lead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi, and I lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm joined this morning by Kris Nilsen. She is the College and Career Counselor with SCVi Charter School, Santa Clarita's first classroom-based charter school, and your only comprehensive TK through 12th grade public school here in the Valley. Kris, before the break, I mentioned one of my favorite capstone events that you do with your seniors out there at SCVi. And I was so bummed, Kris. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on that week, and I couldn't attend your senior defense. So this is something that, I never even considered, never heard of when I was in high school. And I don't know there's a whole lot of high schools out there that are doing it. This is more like college level work. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about what senior defense is and how it goes?
Sure. So the seniors are asked to pick an artifact, which is a project or a paper or an experience that they had while at SCVi, and they present that and link it to one of our learner outcomes. And we have 6 of those, and grit and zest and collaboration and academic engagement. All of those things, they get to pick one of those and basically present to a panel. Some of them are SCVi staff, some of them are from the community, and basically show us why we feel that they should graduate. Now, I did have a lot of seniors, before coming in every year, they say, well, what do you mean? I have my classes and my transcript.
I did it. I got to see.
I said, that is true, right? It's like, here's my proof. I'm graduating.
Yeah.
But I always make an example, and this year I taught senior capstone and was the senior advisor, so I really got a special relationship with the kids throughout the year and saw them a lot. And I said, well, here's the thing. As an example, as a counselor, people know, or they think they know, what I do. Oh, yes, Miss Nilsen does all these things. She's a great counselor, but how do they know that? if I needed to do a defense and have a presentation and pick an aspect of my job and talk about it and how I'm linking that to learner success and success at SCVi, there'd be evidence there. And so it really is getting the kids to really think back, take that time to reflect, find a project, and not even necessarily one that they did great in, but maybe one that they grew from, and be able to stand in front of a panel of people, dress nicely, whatever presentation they want to do, whether it's, Google Slides, whether it's a website, and they need to present and sell themselves, which we feel is such an important skill to have when graduating and getting out there in the real world.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, this one's always my favorite. I missed it this year, but I've sat in on a lot of those in the past. And it's funny. I always expect, it's kind of like a job interview, right? Where they say, what are some of your weaknesses? And people say, oh, I think I work too hard, right? But no, your kids demonstrate a tremendous amount of vulnerability sometimes. I remember kids talking about instances where they just absolutely failed and crashed and burned. And not just academically, by the way. Kids talking about struggles that they had with their friends or in their personal lives and things that they've gone through. And, the panel that you have, you always keep a box of tissues there because tears flow. And you mentioned, Kris, in the past, I think you've had not just teachers and staff from SCVi, but you have family members, you have community members. I think a couple years ago there were a few business members out there that were judging the portfolio defenses. It's such a special time, and yes, a rigorous and authentic way for kids to kind of sell themselves. That's really authentic. So because I missed this year, Kris, you have to tell me, can you share anything specifically poignant, special, any kind of reflections that came up this year? What did I miss?
Well, I think what's great about our school and any school is kids are going to look at experiences and classes differently. And so there were a few kids that talked about their internal assessments in some of their IB classes, and they are incredible, the work that goes into them. And I know that we have them, and I know the kids are working hard, but I don't get to hear about some of the topics that they're doing. And so when they're going through this process, and I'm sitting back and, wow, that's amazing. Look at what you've done and learned at SCVi. But then there's kids who really are part of our theater arts, or they're part of an engineering elective, and that was something that they really remembered. And I felt this year a lot of it revolved around our Into the Woods production and our theater department. They do such a great job, and not only do we have the actors, but we have stage production also as a path here, a CTE path here at SCVi, where the kids are doing behind-the-scenes work. And the sets this year, the play was amazing. They transformed our Shakespeare Theater into a woods, the painting, the trees that they made out of wood, and hearing them have value in that project-based learning, that hands-on learning, where they start something and they see the end of it and they see how wonderful the production was and they took part in that. That, to me, was amazing. And I sit through all of them. I guide, kind of through the rubric and when we talk to the kids, and it's always a pleasant surprise, having, parents from some of our lower school coming in or people from the outside community, and you're hoping that it's going to be good, and they always are. And I think when the kids leave that room and they feel successful, they've got to talk about themselves in a positive way, and it is a positive experience. The kids think, well, what if I don't pass? And it's not really a pass-fail kind of a thing. If there is I've had a couple kids, and maybe that connection to our learning outcome or the way they talked about their artifact needs a little bit more, then I do redos with them and really hit home what the expectation of that senior defense was. But it is something that we have all of our seniors do, and I think once they go through it and once they see what it is about, they love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's always such a touching experience for the kids, for the staff, for the evaluators. I'm talking about the senior defense at SCVi, something that all of our seniors do before they're allowed to graduate, right? It's kind of a high stakes thing, Kris. And you mentioned Into the Woods, which is the play that the SCVi theater just put on, and that you kind of glossed over it, Kris. So I want to touch on what you called a CTE pathway. You mentioned that you have a theater production CTE pathway there at SCVi. I know the production that they just put on, Into the Woods, was incredible. In fact, our local assemblywoman, Pilar Chiavo, came out and attended, and she and her daughter were just absolutely blown away by all of the theater production, the staging, the lighting, the sound. Everything was done by the learners there. But can you share what a CTE pathway is, why that's important, and maybe some of the examples that you have at SCVi?
Sure. So CTE stands for Career Technical Education Path. Excuse me, and the high schools have them. We are an art school. That's kind of how we started, and so our pathways include an performing arts pathway, we have a film pathway, and we have a stage production and managerial arts pathway. So what that means is there is an intro course. We have Intro to Arts, Media, and Entertainment. Then they take a concentrator. So for the actors, they'll take Acting 1 or Acting 2. For a film, they'll take a film class. And then in their senior year, they do what's called a capstone project. And it's something that is out there kind of in the real world. And they are doing a project to kind of finish off that pathway. And then when they graduate, they get a certificate recognized by the state of California.
Oh, cool.
And if they decide to go on to college, if they decide to go into the workforce or do a gap year and do an internship, they have this extra piece, this certificate, kind of like my college counseling certificate, that shows that when they were in high school, they really did this awesome program. They spent a lot of time on it, and it kind of gets them that experience that they may need in order to get jobs when they get out in the real world.
That is beautiful. So they're doing their career preparation right there in high school, and we have seen plenty of our learners at SCVi go straight from high school graduation into those career fields. I'm thinking of, dozens of kids that I know of that were, like we said, working the lighting and the sound at SCVi, and then boom, went into the movie industry or the television industry. And there's plenty of other examples. Now, Kris, I know right now things are probably a little stressful. This is the busiest time of the year for you with graduation coming up. You got one more week left. You're holding on. I know the kids are getting excited. You've got a couple of events coming up. What are the seniors still looking forward to in this last week of their high school career at SCVi?
Yeah, so the nice thing is, we have finals week next week for our 9th through 11th, and which, is a lot of projects and some of it, exams, but our seniors get to kind of have fun. And so like Monday, we're going to do some cap decorating. They also, all of our learners, actually 9th through 11th grade, they do what's called learner leadership showcases. And so throughout the year, they're keeping portfolios throughout their years. And since our advisory classes are mixed with 9th through 12th grade, they are going to present their showcases in their advisory class. And so seniors are also going to be doing that and showing their defenses to their advisors and their advisories, their peers, because they were not able to see them during the defense.
So the underclassmen get to
coming
see
up.
that.
We're going to have some fun and watch the sunset set on SCVi on their senior year. And then we are going to have a wonderful breakfast, and then we got to rehearse for graduation, and so that's on Thursday. And then on Friday, we are at the Hart High School Theater where we're having graduation, and we are preparing, and then the event is at 5 p.m.
Fantastic. So exciting. And then those seniors, another group of seniors, your 7th, Kris, are up and they are out. So where are they going, Kris? What's going on with your seniors? Can you share a little bit about, you're the college and career counselor. Where are you sending your kids to next year?
Right. So I have 2 kids going outside of California. They are going to Embry-Riddle for aerospace engineering, and one is going across the pond to Paris for EDEC Business School. Wow. Which is amazing. It was quite a difficult process for her. We've got a lot of our California schools represented. We've got Cal Poly Pomona, Cal State Northridge, San Luis Obispo, San Francisco State. We have UC Santa Barbara, Cal State San Marcos, UC Santa Cruz, and we have the Masters University, which is our local private college out here. And I wanted to mention another thing that's really important at SCVi, and I think is one of the things I fell in love with. When kids, we have a step-up event, and we kind of advance all of our kids to the next grade. So the 8th graders come into the theater, and we clap them in to high school, all of us, welcoming them, coming in as freshmen, and then we have our 10th to 11th and 11th to 12th and so on. But after that, what we do is all of our graduates, we have a clap out. So they were clapped in ninth grade, and they're clapped out after the breakfast. The kids are in their caps and gowns, and we have the entire SCVi campus, K through 11, lined up in the back of our school, and our kids walk down, and they're high-fiving, and our little kindergartners, where they're starting their journey at SCVi, are seeing our seniors graduating from SCVi, and is one of the most awesome experiences that I've ever seen at a school. And it's so great to see these kids, not only understanding what they've done and the work they've put in, but, getting that send-off from their entire campus. So I'm really excited about that next week as well.
Kris, we talked last break about a family feel, and I'm getting dusty just thinking about the clap out. It is such a beautiful event where, like you said, your seniors walk in their cap and gowns the entire length of the school as they're flanked by a gauntlet of first their friends in 11th grade, then the 10th graders, 9th graders, going all the way down to the smallest, the TK kids. And I always wonder, what are those kindergartners thinking as they see the big, mighty seniors come through in their caps and gowns? And I'm sure, as every year goes by and those kids get older, they're dreaming about, when is that going to be me? When is that going to be me? Such a special family moment. And it's really neat because then the families, speaking of family moment, the families of the seniors kind of wait at the very end of that line, and they embrace their kids that are going to be graduating high school the next day. It's such a personalized experience for your families. And it's not just the graduation. TK through 12th grade, the education, the instruction, the curriculum, everything is personalized. And it's just an amazing experience. Kris, I'm so grateful that SCVi has you to help personalize the college and career experience for them as they go through their high school experience. I can't help but think that there's somebody out there going, okay, wait a minute, I've heard Matt say the word free. Does sound like a private school. We are not. We are a free public school funded by your tax dollars, just like the same school around the corner. But that charter school offers that smaller boutique feel, personalized attention. Kris, if someone's listening and wants to learn more about how to enroll their child at SCVi for that personalized high school, middle school, elementary school, because we've got TK through 12. If somebody's interested, how do they get more information? Where do they go?
They go to scvi-k12.org. If you Google us, we have an amazing website that has all of our information. It has experiences, any questions that you have, and you can also always reach out to SCVi as well, but the website will give you a full disclosure of everything we offer here at SCVi.
All right, and I think I'm going to correct you on that website, Kris. It's ileadsantaclarita.org.
That's
and
right.
Actually, you know what? The one that you gave redirects. I just searched it. So either way, scvi-k12.org or ileadsantaclarita.org, or golly, you can go to ileadschools.org and then find Santa Clarita as you scroll, or SCVi as you scroll down. So either way, scvi-k12.org, ileadsantaclarita.org, ileadschools.org. Any of those three websites will get you to the SCVi website for the best in personalized education, that personalized family feel that Kris was talking about. And then, Kris, you got less than 40 seniors on campus this year. I'm guessing that each one of them got a tremendous amount of individualized attention from their college and career counselor yourself, right?
Yes, and it is very bittersweet. I'm excited for them to graduate, but I'm sad too because we've spent all this time together, and all 4 years I've known them. So it's definitely bittersweet, but it's an exciting time.
Yeah, absolutely. Kris Nilsen is SCVi Charter School's college and career counselor. Kris, I will be out at the graduation next week, and I can't wait. The graduation you throw is always a bit of a tearjerker, so special, and I'll look forward to seeing you there. You break a leg, and you stick around. We are going to be right back. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I love the holidays, don't you? Yes, I said the holidays. You heard me right. We've got some great holidays that we're celebrating today, as a matter of fact. Are you ready to celebrate? I know Tori's ready to celebrate the holidays. She's heading out for her weekend and excited about celebrating the holidays. And today, there is no shortage of amazing holidays for us to kick up our heels on. Today, did you realize that today is National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day? That's right, Strawberry Rhubarb Pie. I remember that old commercial that asked, what's a rhubarb? I have no idea. I think it might be a fruit. I don't know. I know strawberries are delicious. So, Carlos, you ever had a strawberry rhubarb pie?
No, the only thing I know the word rhubarb for is, what was it? Yeah, Tim Burton's Batman in 1989. The Joker says, "Never rub another man's rhubarb," which is an interesting quote, but I never understood what the meaning behind that was.
Well, you don't want to rub another man's rhubarb, but today is National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day. I'll have to look into which restaurant around town, maybe here on Main Street, serves the best strawberry rhubarb pie. Today is also Coral Triangle Day. Coral Triangle Day. Every year on June 9th, Coral Triangle Day celebrates the rich resources of the epicenter of marine biodiversity. The day also encourages us to learn a little bit more about the Coral Triangle. You know, there are 3 mega ecological complexes on our planet. These include the Coral Triangle, like I mentioned, the Congo Basin, and the Amazon rainforest. But the Coral Triangle is located in the western Pacific Ocean. The triangular-shaped region includes the tropical waters around the countries of Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines, the Solomon Islands, and East Timor. So let's be aware. Any divers out there? Today is Coral Triangle Day. Tonight, not today, but tonight is National Movie Night. It is the second Friday in June every year, and we celebrate National Movie Night. And my guess is that's to help us kick off the summer movie season. So tonight might be a great night to head out to one of the local theaters or stay in and stream your favorite movie. Carlos, favorite movie? What you're wearing a Halloween Horror Nights T-shirt. Are you a horror film fan?
Oh yeah, 100%. Some of my favorite horror films are from John Carpenter, so Halloween, the original 1978, as well as his reboot of The Thing in 1982.
Quite the horror movie buff. Interesting. So tonight is National Movie Night. Today is National Donald Duck Day. I don't know what that means, but today is National Donald Duck Day, a day to celebrate everybody's favorite half-naked fowl with a speech impediment. So enjoy National Donald Duck Day. Today is also National Earl Day. National Earl Day. That's right, you heard me. Today we honor all those named Earl. You like so, Carlos, who's your favorite Earl out there? Do you like James Earl Jones? Maybe bluegrass legend Earl Scruggs, or
no, the only Earls that came to mind were Earl Grey and the Earl of Sandwich, but those are a tea and a food item. So I guess that means I hadn't had breakfast today. So.
There we go. Can we get a little snack in the studio? Alrighty, Earl Grey and the Earl of Sandwich, who was actually a guy. But yeah, I think the myth or maybe rumor is that he invented the sandwich. I don't know that it was him though. Today is also this one's quite a mouthful. World Antiphospholipid Antibody Syndrome Day. That's right. It raises awareness for this rare autoimmune disorder. It's also a day to educate the general public about, this is easier to say, APS, right? Instead of Antiphospholipid Antibody Syndrome Day, it's APS. When the body's immune system attacks normal proteins in the blood, the body responds by mistakenly forming antibodies that then increase the chances of dangerous clots that can be formed in the lungs, the kidney, the brain. And so this is what people with APS live with on a day-to-day basis. Some people struggle with the disease for a few years. For others, it's a lifelong illness. This disease can be especially traumatic for pregnant women. APS can cause expected mothers to miscarry or deliver stillborn. So educate yourself about APS. So yeah, lots of holidays going on. Again, it's, well, gosh, if you're out in the oceans, just make sure you're taking care, because today is Coral Triangle Day. We always need to take care of our coral. But let's see if we can combine a few of these. I don't know. It's National Earl Day. It's not quite what they mean, Carlos, but maybe grab some Earl Green tea with your Strawberry Rhubarb Pie and take a look at the movie listings, because, again, tonight is National Movie Night. So that's it, everybody. National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day, Coral Triangle Day, National Movie Night, National Naked Duck Day. No, it's not National Naked Duck Day. It is National Donald Duck Day. You know what? We should look into that. How does one actually celebrate National Donald Duck Day? So let's take a look here. National Donald Duck Day, every June 9th. So, I guess you could host a Donald Duck impersonation contest, bake Donald Duck-shaped cookies. Is there a cookie cutter that's that shape? It's probably pretty large on the bottom, right? Sorry, Donald, not throwing shade, just calling them like I see them. Maybe Donald Duck cartoons. Yeah, but no, you're not going to stream Donald Duck cartoons. You're going to watch a movie tonight because it's National Movie Night. So, yeah, do enjoy the holidays. Love me a good holiday, and you've got quite a few to choose from there. So, yeah, enjoy that Strawberry Rhubarb Pie. Enjoy that movie tonight. Maybe dress up like Elton John and head out to that movie, and you can celebrate National Donald Duck Day. So stick around for hour 2. We've got Tina Toval and the Valley's Hippest Home Study program coming up, followed by Dr. Jasmine Rise from College of the Canyons. I am Matt Watson. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and I Lead School's Eye on the Valley. I'm joined now by my good friend Tina Toval with iLead AV Exploration. Tina attended Cal State Northridge and earned her bachelor's degree in liberal studies as well as a multiple subject teaching credential. She recently finished her administrative credential program. I didn't know that. Congratulations, friend. She's working on her master's degree in educational administration. She's worked in education for 15 years now, starting her journey, with us at iLead during her last semester of college as a student teacher at SCVi during its founding year. Her first several years, she was a 4th and 5th grade facilitator, where she was deeply inspired by her teammate, Tim Alvis. That's right. Tina and I actually were teachers for about 3 years together, and then we both transitioned into an administrative role. Tina working alongside SCVi's leadership team as a leadership resident. She's currently working at iLead Antelope Valley as a lead educational facilitator, where she has helped to develop the newest exploration program, which is our home study program, by the way. That's what we call home study, is exploration. That combines homeschool learning with project-based learning. Tina has an amazing 3-year-old son who keeps her going nonstop. She loves playing with him, taking him on adventures, and exploring his interests along with him. She truly is an amazing educator and a lover of dad jokes. Tina, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, it's great to have you. So, Tina, before we get started, I just wanted to know, have you heard the news? You've heard, right, that Virgin Galactic and SpaceX and Blue Origin and all those guys are getting ready to, they're getting close to offering commercial space travel. You've heard that, right?
I have not heard that.
Oh, well, yeah, space travel is in our near future. So that's my first question, Tina. If you could travel anywhere in space, where would you go?
I would stay right here on Earth. I think this is a good place for me, so I think I'm not going anywhere. Okay. I, on the other hand, I'm getting out. I'm moving away. I want to move outside of the Milky Way galaxy. I think I want to move to the soy Milky Way galaxy because I'm galactose intolerant. All right. Matt, that was good.
Yeah.
I've missed those dad jokes.
No, that was not good. Don't encourage me. Tina, so I mentioned you've been with iLead from the absolute beginning, back when we were just a teeny tiny little school over there on Smythe Drive. Tell us, what was it that initially attracted you to work at SCVi? And then, because for me, the answer is very different. What attracted you to work at SCVi? And then what's kept you with us for 15 years now?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I was placed at SCVi as a student teacher in my last semester of college. And we were a really small school, only a couple classrooms. I was not really sure at first, but once I was in there and teaching and with the staff and the kids, and I got to know the vision and mission of the school, then I absolutely fell in love with it. It was definitely what I, valued as an educator. So that's kept me there throughout the years, because that vision and mission has maintained all these years. So that's been nice that even through our growth, we've been able to kind of hold true to those things. And that's absolutely what has kept me here with iLead and the amazing staff that I work with through all the years. Again, I've worked with some amazing educators who really love and care for their kids. And it's been a beautiful, inspiring journey, and I'm just so happy to have been with iLead for so long.
And we are so fortunate to have you, as your career has literally grown up with our school network through SCVi and now with iLead AV. You've held several different roles. So can you share how your roles have shifted and grown with your career at iLead?
Yeah, so I started student teaching as a 7th grade teacher, then transitioned to 4th grade, and then we developed our multi-age classrooms, that's where my good friend Matt Watson came along and helped me develop this great multi-age structure that we have here at iLead. And then, I transitioned into a leadership position, working with a leadership team at SCVi, and now I'm in the homeschool world, which has been wonderful as well, a whole new side of education and whole new thing to get used to, and it's been great.
Yeah, and Tina, you talked about that shift. You were that kind of keystone piece that we needed in developing this new homeschool program at iLead AV. Because we had that driving question, if you will, how can we implement project-based learning in a home study program? And so we built kind of a new home study program up at iLead AV and brought in, one of our leading experts in project-based learning, yourself, Tina Toval, to help us do it. So let's talk about project-based learning a little bit. Why is it that approach to education is so important and impactful in the lives of students?
Project-based learning really takes learning beyond, the textbook, right? So it gets kids really involved in real-world things that are happening, authentic problem-solving. They're really using those 21st century skills and collaborating with each other. So it just creates a much better and more inspiring learning environment for them. You can draw upon their passions, their interests, and kids just dive in and just take things so much deeper when they're immersed in PBL. So I think that really what sparks the love for learning for a lot of kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember when I was growing up and in high school, even in elementary school, wondering and sometimes even saying out loud, when am I ever going to use this in the real world? The idea of project-based learning is, put the kids in the real world, let them do the stuff and learn that way. So
it definitely puts them in the driver's seat of their own learning. And then you can see that develop through the years, right? We start that in TK kindergarten, and then you see kids who have gone through that process and are in high school and are just rock stars because they've been immersed in PBL for so long.
Absolutely. So let's talk about what it looks like, whether it's in the classroom or in your home study program. What are some of the more impactful projects that you've brought to our learners over your career with us?
I always like to start the year with a passion project, right? It really helps me as the educator get familiar with who that kid is, what they like, what their interests are, and then it gets them excited to learn, right? So I always really look forward to the beginning of the year, their passion project, so that I can kind of see what direction to go with them, and that helps me individualize their learning and their projects as we go through the year. So those are really fun because you learn so many different things as well. At the end of the project, when they get to showcase their passion and what they've learned and why it's important to them and what direction they want to go with it. So those are always my favorite, just because it's such a variety of different things that the kids are able to present and talk about. So those are always great. I really enjoy, we had a living history museum project, which was really neat. So the kids chose a historical figure, and then were able to present at what we created, like a living history museum, where they came to life as the character of that person and talked about their journey and why they impacted the world. So those are always cool too, because at the end you get to kind of get immersed in history, so to speak, and interact with these kids and see what they've learned.
Yeah, there's just no limit to the different things that you can come up with, because the idea behind education is that we are preparing kids for those real world experiences, and PBL brings it in. So now I mentioned that you moved to iLead AV to bring that expertise in project-based learning to a home study program. Can you talk to us about what your role is at iLead AV, and then, well, let's start there, and then we'll talk about the program in a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So my role, I'm the lead educational facilitator. So I work alongside our amazing director, Terry Budke, and we are developing this homeschool program, like you said, and we have a team of teachers that I help support and facilitate how to incorporate project-based learning into homeschooling and kind of work through that process with them. They're also really key pieces in developing our program as well, because, as we'll get to, we're a little bit different of a homeschool program. So it's definitely a team effort, but my role is to really help facilitate that and make sure we're going in the right direction as an iLead school.
Yeah, absolutely. So you say homeschool. I know when families oftentimes think of a home study program, they think of, okay, I'm at home all day, every day. I'm doing the teaching with my kids. I don't think I could ever. And I always interrupt people because it's like, I know what you're thinking. But with iLead Exploration, with iLead AV Exploration, you can, because you get the support. Listen to what Tina has to say. Tina, tell us about the iLead AV Exploration program.
Yeah, we do. Anyone who wants to homeschool their child can come to AV Exploration. We really cater and support those families who, like you said, maybe have always wanted to homeschool, have thought about homeschooling, are interested in homeschooling, but maybe a little bit hesitant or overwhelmed or intimidated by the thought of that. We really support them through that process. We give them the curriculum that they need. We meet with them every week. We offer synchronous instruction for their child so they can get online and work directly with us. And we also provide on-site workshops for them to come to, for the kids to come to. We do family meetups where we organize different events for the families to come together as a homeschool community to connect with one another, to support each other. So we really kind of hold their hands through this process as much as they need or as little as they need to just make it less intimidating, because, like you said, sometimes they go into it thinking, I can't do that. I'm not a teacher. I don't know. But they can, right? If that's what's best for their family and that's what they want, we can definitely help support them through that. And it's been a really great process, because I feel like all of our families started out never homeschooling before, and now we're going into our third year, and they're loving it and doing such a wonderful job, and we've built such a great community. So it's been really great. It
really is a unique program, Tina. I actually spoke with one of the families at your school last year who had said, I never even considered a homeschool or home study program because I knew I couldn't. But then during the pandemic, with the shutdown, my son did so well. He did so much better with distance learning, with learning from home. She says when everyone was getting excited about going back on campus, I was getting really nervous about it. And so I thought, I don't think I can do this, but my son needs this. So I have to step up and help him get the education that he needs. And she heard about the exploration program. And she just walked into it saying, I need help. And that's exactly what you do. Like you said, if a family walks in and says, hey, I've been doing this with, my older kids, I've got this, fine, hands off, go on with your bad self. But, I've never done this. I don't know what to do. You guys really walk your families through it. Can you talk about maybe what that looks like in regards to curriculum? What is it that you give your families? And then how are you different from other maybe home study charter networks in what you provide?
Right. So a typical homeschool charter homeschool program would offer families a list of curriculum to choose from. And they basically say, here's all the curriculum you can choose from. Tell me what you want. We'll order it and we'll send it to you. They get allotted funds where they can purchase that curriculum, purchase whatever technology they might need, iPad, laptop, and just kind of let them run, right? But that can be really overwhelming for a family who has never homeschooled and who maybe aren't teachers and can look at a list of curriculum and doesn't know what's good. They don't know what their child would enjoy. They don't even know where to start. So we kind of pull some of that back and we give them the curriculum. We have this award-winning curriculum, homeschool curriculum that really makes things easy for learning at home. We give them the curriculum and we say, here's that. We give them their laptop that they need. Here's that. And they get everything they need for the year. And the way the curriculum is laid out is very parent-friendly. Bookshark knows that parents aren't necessarily teachers. And so the way they lay out their curriculum is very easy to follow and understand. So a family can take off with it, like you said. But then we also offer synchronous instruction where we give the kids lessons on what they're learning in their curriculum along with PBL. We do weekly check-ins with the kids, with the parents. We talk about what support they might need. We hold office hours so our families can come in and talk to us. The child can come in and do some work with us. And, we're able to support them and walk them through anything they might need and questions they might have. So that way they don't feel alone and as overwhelmed.
And I love it because if this is a format that my child needs, but I don't know how to do it, I can step in, you hold my hand as much as I need, but then as I grow as a home study parent, then I can just continue to soar and do more and more myself. Now, Tina, I mentioned you are at the iLead Antelope Valley campus, so do families need to live there up in Lancaster in order to attend your school?
They do not. We have several families. We have some from Santa Clarita. We have some from San Fernando Valley, Acton, Agua Dulce. So you really have to live in California, right? And at one point, you do have to drive to campus to pick up the curriculum and then again to drop it off. But you don't necessarily have to live in that area. But we do offer lots of things on campus for the kids to do, but it's absolutely optional. So again, it really caters to your family's needs and what you want for your child.
I love that because it really deals with the thought of, okay, like this mom last year that told me my son really thrives in, learning from home, but I worry about, him not having classmates. Like you said, you've still got the option to do those twice-a-week workshops on campus and have classmates and learn with kids their age and get involved in all these different experiences. Again, optional, so families can be on campus up to twice a week, but don't need to be on campus more than once or twice a year, right, to pick up their curriculum, and that's about it.
Exactly.
You mentioned kind of anywhere in Southern California. Our school is allowed to take families from anywhere in the 5 counties that are LA County, Kern County, Ventura County, San Bernardino County, and Orange County. So yeah, in theory, as long as they're willing to drive up to Lancaster once or twice a year to pick up their curriculum, a family from Anaheim could join your campus there at iLead AV, right?
That's right.
All right, so then if a family's encouraged, because I'm thinking they might be, wow, I didn't think I could be a homeschool family, but Tina's convinced me. How can listeners learn more about how to enroll their child, and are you still enrolling for next year?
We are still enrolling for next year, and they can go to our website, ileadav.org, and then you can just hit enroll now, and you want to make sure you click on the homeschool option, exploration, when you're able to choose what program you want for your learner.
Absolutely, because iLead AV actually has a couple of different programs. I dropped in the Facebook Live feed the link directly to your program, ileadav.org/AV-exploration, or like Tina said, ileadav.org, and then click Enroll Now and choose the Exploration program. Phone numbers on the website as well. You can give them a call for a little bit more information. But one more time, that is ileadav.org/AV-exploration. Tina, I don't know that we covered this. What grade levels is your school?
Oh, we are TK through 8th grade.
That's right. You guys are opening TK next year. You didn't have TK this year, but you're opening TK.
We didn't have TK.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, surprise.
That is.
We sure did.
That is so much sweeter than saying "duh," Matt. Okay, so yeah, you have TK through 8th grade. You're taking 4.5-year-olds right up to and through 8th grade. One more time, that's ileadav.org/AV-exploration. Tina, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. I always enjoy getting caught up with you and chatting with you. Tina, before you go, you and I, during the commercial, we were catching up on how our families are doing and everything that's going on with our kids as our families grow. One thing I didn't share with you about myself. Did you know that I just published my first book?
You wrote your first book?
I did. I published a book on reverse psychology.
You did?
I did, but do me a favor, Tina. Don't buy it, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Tina, love you. I know you love me. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you.
Do.
This is Matt Watson with Tina Toval from iLead AV. Again, check them out at ileadav.org for more information on the absolutely most innovative home study program in Southern California, ileadav.org. I am Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and we have had an amazing show so far. We were joined in the first hour by Kris Nilsen. She is the college and career counselor at SCVi, talking about the amazing things that that the seniors who are about to graduate at SCVi are doing. And then we just had the pleasure of speaking with my longtime friend, Tina Toval. She works at iLead AV in our home study program, the AV Exploration Program. For more information on SCVi or Exploration, which is our home study program, or any of our schools, whether it's our campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster, our home study program, our online program, regardless of what format your child needs or what area you're living in, we've got something for you at iLead. Check us out at ileadschools.org for more information on all of our programs. That's ileadschools.org for more information. I'm joined now by Dr. Jasmine Rise with College of the Canyons. Dr. Rise is a resident of the Santa Clarita Valley, where she and her husband Steve raise their 2 daughters. She loves living here, working here, and being part of this community. She has worked at College of the Canyons for over 2 decades, as she has wisely decided she never wanted to leave college. So why not work at one? She received her bachelor's in history from Cal Lutheran, so you know she's already a great person. She also received her master's in educational counseling and her doctorate in educational and organizational leadership from the University of Laverne, also receiving the Robert L. Brown Award for her doctoral dissertation. Today she is the Assistant Superintendent Vice President of Student Services at College of the Canyons. Dr. Rise, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you so much. That was a lovely intro. Thank you.
Well, you've got an amazing bio. So we've been talking a little bit about graduation. I know a lot of our local high schools have already graduated. SCVi's class of 2023 is going to be graduating here in a week. And I know that it's graduation season out there at College of the Canyons as well. So many people are asking, all right, what now, right? Because the summer can be long, or maybe I need to really start advancing my career. Can I take classes over the summer? Do I want to wait till the fall? So can you tell us what COC has in store for the community this summer?
Definitely. Well, exactly like you said, depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to upskill, get yourself ready for the fall, just completed high school, ready to start your college, this summer we've got it for you, and we've got it in so many different modalities. So are you an online student? You really don't want to come to the classroom? We've got that. You're like, oh no, I can't do the Zoom anymore. I've got to get into a classroom.
Right.
Come on back with us. We've got those classes for you as well. And if you wanted to, pick up a class over summer, just test it out. Let's see how it goes. It's a great time to do it. We have classes starting basically every week during the summer. So we started this week. We have classes next week. We've got classes in July. Every single week you can start a class here at COC. So it's not too late and it's not too early.
Well, I love that because I'm a procrastinator, and
Me too.
I'm always the one that finds out, I really wanted to take that class over the summer, but I missed it. Well, you got another bus coming along here next week, don't you?
Exactly. And so that it's really about your schedule, what works best for you, right?
I love that. I have found I've been chatting with you and your colleagues at COC for, a few years now, and every time I have a conversation with y'all, I realize deeper and deeper that everything that you design is really designed around the varying needs of your students and the community. So you're constantly creating new programs and making things flexible so that they work for the wide variety of students that you take in at COC. So do you have any new programs, speaking of those, at COC?
You know what? We do.
What's going on?
Our faculty have been on exactly what you're talking about, reading the community, what the needs are, working with our business professionals, talking to just the community in general, what's needed out there so that we could develop that program for you. And we have over 20 new programs coming in over the next 2 years. That includes health professions, things like occupational therapy, physical therapy assistant. We have things in the studios if you wanted to come out, because we have a lot of studios coming out to this valley.
Oh, yeah.
So our theater department is completely prepped and ready for that. Same with our media, entertainment, arts. You name it, we're ready for this valley. We want to make sure that this valley has exactly what's needed, but then what if you are traveling out and you need to go somewhere else? Don't worry. We'll prep you for those other positions as well, or upskill you right where you're at. I don't know about you, but technology is advancing faster than I can learn it.
Yeah.
So we've got those classes to help you do that, and we even have free classes to help you do that, where you don't even have to take it for units or for money or for books. We have it free, too, in our non-credit program. So like you said, we really work with the community on what they need, and we'll develop it. So if you're looking for that physical therapy assistant, occupational therapy, things that we have coming down the road in the next year, start now on your prerequisites.
Right.
So that way when that program comes in, you're just doing your major coursework.
All right. Gosh, that's... I always think of College of the Canyons Community College as a much cheaper alternative to the traditional 4-year. But you've got not cheaper pathways. You've got free classes that are going to prepare people in their different areas of expertise. Do y'all still? I know this was something big. Back when my kids were in high school, the Canyons Promise program, where you were basically scholarshiping pretty much anybody. There were some qualifiers, but can you talk a little bit about the Canyons Promise program? Are you still offering that to local students?
We are. We just closed the application period, or the sign-up period. We had over 2,000 people come into that program this year. So that's 2,000 people that are getting a free education for 2 years.
Wow.
So for students that are starting next year, we're going to be opening it again in October. So it is an amazing program, and we just keep growing. More and more people want it. We're going to take more and more people in.
And your school keeps growing, too.
Yeah.
When I was growing up here in Santa Clarita, College of the Canyons was the elite 2-year program in the Valley. But y'all do a lot more than just the 2-year AA, as if that weren't enough, right?
Exactly.
I can get my bachelor's on your campus. People are getting their master's on your campus, right?
Yep. We always like to say, start here, go anywhere, because it really is just that. You can start here and upskill. You can start here to get your AA or your certificate. You can start here to transfer. And now with our university center, like you said, you could be earning your bachelor's degrees. You could be earning your master's degrees. It's definitely a place where we are trying to ensure if you need an education, we're here for you.
Fantastic. And not only are you here for us, you're there for us. Your Canyon Country campus continues to grow as well. So you've got these beautiful state-of-the-art campuses on both sides of our valley, don't you?
Very much so. We just opened 2 buildings over at the Canyon Country campus. If you haven't been there recently, take a drive over there. It is gorgeous. These are state-of-the-art buildings for both our learning resources, student services, but also all of our sciences. So the Don Takeda Science Center, state-of-the-art, better than you will see at a 4 years. Our labs are just out of this world. It's so amazing. So please stop by, take a look. We'll take you on a tour.
They really are amazing. You know, I actually got a sneak peek. I was over for the Chamber of Commerce mixer at your Canyon Country campus recently, and it is just absolutely stunning. So
thank you. We are so proud of it, and we want to show it off to the world.
Now, Jasmine, I do want to ask you, because one of the needs that COC has always been fantastic at meeting is students or folks that kind of just aren't sure, right? So what if I'm not sure if I want to enroll, and maybe, I don't know, you've talked about some pretty cool new programs that you've got coming up that sound intriguing. I don't know. Is there somebody that I can kind of chat with about before I make the full commitment?
Oh, definitely. And that's the thing. Maybe I'm not quite sure I want to be like a full-time student.
Right.
But maybe I only want to take a class or two, or maybe I do want to be that full-time student, but I have no idea where to start.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we have you. We can take care of you online, in person, on Zoom, on chat, on the phone. We're here. So come on either by our campuses, either the Valencia or Canyon Country campus. Walk on in. We have these Ask Me desks just sitting there waiting with people going, come on, talk to me. And then we also have the phone calls. So I'm going to give you a website, an email, and a phone number.
All right.
Website is just canyons.edu. Come on over, and right on our front page you'll see how to contact us. Right. You can call 661-362-3457, or you can email outreach@canyons.edu, and we will get you started on anything that you want. We are not one of those high-pressure sales colleges. We're not going to try and get you into a class to get your money. We are here to get you to your goal. And that's all that matters. And if it's this summer, if it's this fall, if it's next spring, we're here to help you. It's about you and what works best for your life.
Y'all really are the best in higher education, in a convenient location, extremely helpful, and you really literally can't beat the price, especially when you're giving it away.
That's the truth.
Now, Dr. Rise, we're heading into the summer, and it's in Southern California, big-time event season. You got any events coming up?
We do. I want to invite the entire community out to our Welcome Day on August 11th. From 9 to 1 right here on our Valencia campus. This is one where we welcome all the students who are coming in, the community who is still unsure. We could still get you in classes. We could get you started that day. But that's the day that our entire college is out saying, here I am at my table, ask me questions. Let me tell you about our chemistry program. Let me tell you about our media arts program or our athletics program or our basic needs center that are on campus. So the entire campus is out to kind of welcome people in and hope that they want to join us along this educational ride.
So that's Welcome Day?
Welcome Day.
Everybody
August
to come in?
11th from 9 to 1 on our Valencia campus.
Fantastic. And for more information on Welcome Day, the amazing summer offerings that blows my mind. I don't know how logistically your staff can handle it, but it doesn't matter. You're there for the educational needs of our valley. You're starting summer classes every single week going through the summer. That is absolutely incredible. For more information on all these programs at College of the Canyons, either in Valencia on the west side of town, Canyon Country on the east side of town, just go to canyons.edu for more information. Now, Dr. Rise, perhaps you can help me with just one more thing before you go.
Sure.
My mom won't let me have nice things of my own. She makes me share my radio show with my stupid big brother, and he's got some trivia questions that he wants to call in and ask. So do you like trivia? Can you stick around and play with us for a little bit, kind of humor my big brother?
I love trivia. I would love to stay. I got to say, I'm not great at it, but I want to play.
Well, that's exactly the type of trivia and poker player that I like. Someone that's not good at it, but enjoys playing. So, all right. Then, Dr. Rice, stick around. Big T's calling in. Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame is coming up, and we'll be playing with Dr. Jasmine Rise from College of the Canyons. This is SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson, and this is your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and I've been joined this morning by Dr. Jasmine Rise. She is Assistant Superintendent and Vice President of, well, gosh, I think I've got her old title there. There we go. Assistant Superintendent and Vice President of Student Services. That was correct. At College of the Canyons. Dr. Rise, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have we got everybody we need, Carlos? All right. All right. So we've got Big T calling in. He's got trivia and fun with us, and I believe Dr. Rise was going to hang around and play with us. So we're working to get them on the line. We've had a great show so far this morning. We were joined earlier this morning by Kris Nilsen. Kris is the incredible college and career counselor out at SCVi Charter School. You know, it's funny, SCVi is in Castaic, and people think, Castaic, that's just a little bit too far away from me. It's not. It's Castaic officially, but it's right off of Newhall Ranch Road, right? It's just kind of past the Walmart out there, just off of Newhall Ranch Road in Castaic. And then, Kris is doing some amazing things with our seniors, and they're about to graduate next week. Super excited about, this is, I think, SCVi's, probably 11th graduating class. They're in their 15th year. And then we also spoke with Tina Toval. Tina Toval is the lead educational facilitator at iLead AV's Exploration Program. That's right. That's our campus up in the Antelope Valley, up in Lancaster. But because it's a home study program, they have students from Agua Dulce, Santa Clarita, the San Fernando Valley, right? Because you don't have to drive up to Lancaster every day. And Tina was talking about her incredibly supportive homeschool program that she and Director Terry Budke are running up there, where they really do provide all the support that a family needs in a homeschool program. We talked about a family, and most of her families actually had never homeschooled their kids before and needed a ton of support. And so Tina and the team provides all of the curriculum that you need, a laptop plus some educational funds. They support you through everything. But then as you get more comfortable with it, as you get more familiar with it, then they will slowly let you continue to walk on your own until you are an absolute expert on that homeschooling program. So, Carlos, I think we got everybody on the line. Big T, are you there? Dr. Rise? Oh, there you are, Big T. Dr. Rise, are you here?
I am.
Fantastic. Dr. Rise, this is my big brother, Tony. We're going to skip the big introduction, and we're just going to get right to it. Big T, you already know how amazing you are. You already know that you're Mom's favorite. You already know that Dr. Rise and the team at COC are providing incredible higher education right here in Canyon Country and in Valencia. In fact, aren't you like a member of the like distinguished graduates or something like that, Big T? Tony.
Yes, Matt, yeah. Matt, I can hardly hear you. I can hear Dr. Rise really well, but I don't hear you so well.
All right, Carlos, can you maybe crank up my levels a little bit so Tony can hear me? Is that better?
Yes, I am a COC alumni.
There you go. Big T's a COC alum. He's a distinguished alum.
I got a banner on campus, Matty.
You got a banner? That's got to be a pretty big banner. Hey, let's not play around too much. Dr. Rise said she's only going to stick around if she can play trivia with us. Dr. Rise, I do need to explain the rules to you.
Please do.
Big T is going to throw out a question, and you need to hit your buzzer if you know the answer. Okay? Did you get the buzzer we sent to you?
No, I missed that.
Shoot the moon. Then I guess what we're going to have to do is just call out your name, right? You can use your name as your buzzer. Now, are you going to be Dr. Jasmine Rise? Are you just going to be Doctor? What do you want to go with?
I'll be Jasmine, and if I'm really quick, I'll say Jazz.
Oh, I love it. And I'll be Frogger, and Big T's got questions for us. So let's go ahead and do this, Tony.
Perfect. So I like the dad jokes this morning.
Yeah.
So, I'll bring one to the table if I could. This morning I was on my walk, and I saw this woman talking to her cat, and it was obvious that this poor woman thought that the cat actually understood her. When I got home, I told my dog Duke, we laughed so hard.
Yeah.
All righty, trivia. Let's kick it off.
All right.
How many chambers does the human heart have?
Jasmine.
Oh, Frogger.
Jasmine.
4.
4 is correct.
4, good job.
What fruit juice is used to make the cocktail the Salty Dog?
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
Is that cranberry juice?
is incorrect. Jasmine's a little hesitant to answer. She doesn't want deviation, though she drinks.
I'm going to go with grapefruit juice.
Grapefruit juice is correct. What a random poll. Nice job.
Wow.
I like a good groundhog. I like a good greyhound, so
all right.
Nice.
Yeah, go for it.
Try a Paloma this summer.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Will do.
Abe Lincoln typically wore what type of hat?
Frogger.
Oh.
Frogger.
Stovepipe.
Stovepipe is correct.
So this is
on the board.
Abraham Lincoln, or are you talking about Abe Lincoln, our current Secretary of State, Antony Blinken?
Yeah.
All right.
Abraham Lincoln is who I was talking about.
All right, cool.
What were the names of the series of projects that FDR enacted during the Great Depression?
Oh, Jasmine. New Deal.
Jasmine. The New Deal's correct.
Oh, I thought it was the Raw Deal.
Trivia question. I love this.
All right.
What is the only Major League Baseball team whose logo is a weapon?
Jeez.
Jasmine. Braves.
Jasmine.
Oh.
Braves is correct. Look at this.
Good pull. I couldn't come up with it. I'm like, who's got a gun on their hat?
In the movie Airplane, Barbara Billingsley appeared to be fluent in what language?
Frogger.
Oh.
Frogger.
I think she speaks jive.
She does speak jive.
Okay.
What is frozen to make dry ice?
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Oh, I was going to say water, and that's not right.
Incorrect. Frogger, you got anything?
Hydrogen peroxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Okay.
What's the only U.S. capital named after a biblical character?
Ooh.
U.S. capital.
Frogger.
Frogger.
Methuselah.
Incorrect.
A biblical character.
I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
Their football team plays in the Big Ten? Nobody.
Yeah.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, St. Paul. Oh, look at that.
Nicely done.
I love it. That's a great question.
That is a really good question.
What is Charlie's last name and Ronald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
Buckets. It's Charlie Buckets.
Charlie Buckets. That is correct. And don't you just love that grandpa getting out of bed as soon as he gets the golden ticket?
He's been living off his daughter's dime for decades, and then all of a sudden Charlie's got free chocolate, and so he jumps out of bed.
He was pretty agile once he got into the factory, too.
Right?
Yeah, those four beds pushed together, though, that's just weird.
Family values.
Nice. All right. What does auspicious mean?
Auspicious?
Yeah, what does auspicious mean?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Ominous. Concerning.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Suspiciously.
Auspicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Success. Favorable.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, learn something new every day.
Yeah, right.
See?
Look at us. We're two educators here, and Big T's schooling us.
Go ahead, Frogger.
I said there's two educators here, and Big T's schooling us.
I know, right?
Big T had to look it up.
I love it.
What's the world's biggest structure made by living organisms?
Ooh, Frogger.
Frogger.
We talked about it on the show. It's coral reef, the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah.
The Great Barrier Reef is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Dr. Rise, we're tied. It's 4-4.
Ooh, what organ of the human body produces insulin?
Ooh.
Oh.
Frogger. Is
Frogger?
it the kidney?
No.
No,
Insulin, I'm going to go with liver. I don't know.
Incorrect. It's the pancreas.
Dude, right? You and I are going to get in so much trouble, Dr. Rice.
Said it. It's obvious.
During what World War II battle did General McCulloch require the Germans demand to surrender using the word nuts?
Using the word nuts?
Frogger.
Froggy.
Was that Froggy? Was that Battle of the Bulge?
Battle of the Bulge is correct.
All right.
Nicely done.
What type of house do the Smurfs live in?
Jasmine?
The house.
Mushroom?
Dr. Rise, I was going to say if you get this one right, you didn't get Battle of the Bulge, but we'll give you mushroom. Yes, it is correct.
Wow, I was going to go with wigwam. We got time for one more Big T, and we're tied 5-5. So this is the final and deciding question, Dr. Rise. No, we're locked up.
Do this.
All right, board is open. What part of the human body heals the fastest?
Frogger.
The
skin.
That is incorrect, Dr. Rise.
Oh, no.
Jasmine, tongue.
We're going to give it to Dr. Rise. It is the mouth.
Wow!
Dr. Rise with the win on a technicality.
It's a walk-off, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Rise, thanks so much for playing with us. Big T, thanks for swinging by. We also would like to thank our guest, Kris Nilsen, College and Career Counselor at SCVi Charter School, Tina Toval with iLead AV Exploration, Dr. Jasmine Rise, Assistant Superintendent and Vice President of Student Services at College of the Canyons, producer Sarah, Engineer Carlos, Big T, and hey, thank you for listening. Remember, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well and do good. Have a great weekend. Join us again next Friday and every Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.